I'd like to call this Senate meeting into order at 6:45 p.m. Vice President, please ascertain quorum.
President Stein.
Present.
Vice President Jose. Present. Treasurer Alice.
Excused.
Exec Senator Khan.
Present.
Catherine Senator Pallett.
Tardy. Oh, no, absent.
Kobe Senator Fernandez.
Here.
Kahakula Senator Cromwell.
Present.
Cobb Senator Nguyen.
Here.
Senator at Large Panorama.
Here.
And Cass Senator Lavea. Sorry.
Me.
Revised agenda to say tardy.
Alright, we have 8. And then Advisor Hirakawa.
We have two guests, Dean of Students Kelly Oaks and EEO Officer Jennifer Slaughter. I was thinking like different lines because you changed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Do we have quorum?
Yes, we have 4.
We have quorum. Okay. Since there is no one signed up for the open forum, we will skip past number 4 and move on to number 5, approval of agenda and minutes. 5.1, minutes for Senate meeting 15-16-030.
I move to approve minutes 15-16-030.
Second.
Graduate Senator, motion to approve Senate meeting minutes for Senate meeting 15-16-030, seconded by Cobb Senator Nguyen. Is there any discussion on this motion? Since there's no discussion, I'd move to a vote. All those in favor of approving minutes for Senate meeting 15-16-030, please raise your hand in approval. The ayes have it. Moving on to 5.2 for the agenda for Senate meeting 15-16-031.
I move to approve agenda for Senate meeting 15-16-031.
Second.
Graduate Senator Khan, motion to approve the Senate agenda for meeting 15-16-031, seconded by Kahakaula Senator Cromwell. Is there any discussion on this motion? Since there's no discussion, all those in favor of approving agenda for Senate meeting 15-16-031, please raise your hand in approval. The ayes have it. Moving on to executive point 6.1, the President's report. The first thing I'd like to report on is the executive committee met on Monday to discuss items to be added to the agenda. 2 resolutions are added to the agenda. The treasurer, the vice president, and the president were all in attendance. That concludes the executive committee report. Moving on to my second report. At this time, I would like to recognize individuals in our college community for their service. The 2 individuals that we'll be recognizing this evening is Dr. Jennifer Slaughter and Dr. Kelly Oaks. We have a gift on behalf of the Senate in your efforts to help us resolve issues in finding an advisor. So we'd like to present you with these 2.
You can deep breath, guys.
Thank you. Oh, there it is. Sorry what the certificate says. Certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Dr. Kelly Oaks and Jennifer Slaughter in recognition of outstanding contribution to the University of Guayaquil during the 2015 and 16 collegiate year. Thank you on behalf of the Senate. So I have 2.
We only had to twist Dr. Hirakawa's arm only once. Say I have 2 was Jennifer. I only did that.
Don't breaking my middle finger as hard as
Also, I'd like to offer you these tokens on behalf of Lisa. Thank you for attending our meeting. It was a very important matter. They did not know why they were being summoned. And
No, I
now
thought I was
they
gonna
do.
get blown. So this is a pleasant surprise.
To continue this report, we also would like to thank Dr. Randy Hirakawa for coming on as our And our final gift of appreciation actually goes to someone who probably doesn't even know that during our times of trying to update ourselves, we needed to stay up with our media, and this person decided to donate his time, and that is Chanson Haley. This is a gift of appreciation, and to kind of spur you into the favor, we'd like to give you this Vulcan diffuser, and hopefully this drives you to join our campus one day. He is a white community college student, so. All right, moving on to my second or my third report. At this time, I'd like to ask for the advisor's assistance. The Senate would like to recognize 3 individuals, or should I say, our program would like to recognize 3 individuals for their academic success. Being part of a CSO is relatively difficult, especially for the fact that, to maintain 3.0 or higher is an achievement on their own. So first, I would like to recognize John Cromlin for getting on the Dean's list. And also, we'd also like to recognize David Kahn. And finally, kind of a late entry to the game. This person earns my extra respect. Not only is she maintaining a grade point average of 3.0 and higher, but she also is part of UHHSA and affiliated in athletics. And that itself is amazing. Cyan Fernandez.
And she was the winning pitcher in today's first game.
All
Go Vulcans!
We have games tomorrow, 12 and 2.
Finally, I have 2 remaining awards. This is for distinguished members of our Senate and our Executive Board. The 2 bodies operate separately, but we come together to meet our tenets. And it was a vote by the individual sections to choose a member in the opposite. So the executives chose, out of the Senate, Jessica Panaranda as a distinguished senator for outstanding service to the Senate. Yay! In the record, the Senate was given the names of the executives, and it's just oddly enough that I received this award.
There you go.
Thank you, everyone. That concludes the President's report. Moving on to unfinished business. There is no unfinished business. Moving on to new business 8.1, Senate Resolution 15-16004.
Motion to approve Senate Resolution 15-16004.
Second.
Kakula, Senator Conlon, motion to approve Senate Resolution 15-16004, seconded by Graduate Senator Khan. Please read the
Senate Resolution 15-16004. Whereas the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association strives to provide a positive impact on the campus. Whereas the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association has allocated funds from the current fiscal years to a project that will require the project to be carried out in the incoming term. Whereas the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association has the funds currently that will be rolled over to the next year's budget that can be reallocated. Therefore, let it be resolved, the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association will take the following actions. 1. The funding allocated in the UHHSA Senate Bill 15-16043 Salto electronic door locks of $40,000 shall be retained for its intended purpose. 2. The University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association will not have the ability to decrease this allocation to provide funding for any other than the intended purpose of the funding. 3. The University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association will not have the ability to use the allocated funding for anything other than the intended purpose. 4. Any remaining funds left over after the project is completed can be reallocated. But be it resolved, University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association shall reserve the Salto electronic door locks funding for the next fiscal year.
Is there any more discussion on this motion? Since there's no discussion to be had, I'd like to move to a vote. All those in favor of approving Senate Resolution 15-16-004, please raise your hand in approval. The ayes have it. Moving on, 8.2, Senate Resolution 15-16-005.
Motion to approve Senate Resolution 15-16-005.
Second.
Kaku, Senator Conlon, motion to approve Senate Resolution 15-16-005, seconded by Senator Levea. Is there any can I please have the reading of the resolution?
Whereas the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association strives to provide a positive impact on the campus, whereas the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association has allocated funds from the current fiscal years to a project that will require the project to be carried out in the incoming term, whereas the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association has the funds currently that will be rolled over to next year's budget that can be reallocated. Therefore, let it be resolved, the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association will take the following actions. Number one, the funding allocated in the UHHSA Senate Bill 15-16-053 office renovation of $20,000 that shall be retained for its intended purpose. Two, the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association will not have the ability to decrease this allocation to provide funding for anything other than the intended purpose of the funding. Three, the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association will not have the ability to use the allocated funding for anything other than the intended purpose. Four, any remaining funds left over after the project is completed and can be reallocated. Be it resolved, the University of Hawaii at Hilo Student Association shall reserve the office renovation funding for the next fiscal year.
Is there any more discussion on this motion? No discussion? Therefore, I'd like to move to a vote. All those in favor of approving Senate Resolution 15-16-005, please raise your hand in approval. The ayes have it. Moving on to number 9, UHHSA committee reports. There are no reports. Number 10, announcement for 10.1 is the first official day of the new officers. 10.2, OHEL week, May 1st to May 5th from 8 to 12. There's also the special elections that will start effectively on May 2nd, that'll go to May 3rd. We will have the answer from that elections immediately, and so those senators or people that win will be notified, and there will be a ceremony on the 6th. It'll be very informal. Advisor, is there a report that you'd like to give to the Senate?
Yes, I would like to say, first of all, I came in as the advisor under considerable skepticism. In fact, I would say I came in with a lot of trepidation, but I have been very pleasantly surprised in the last 3 months. This has been a fantastic organization to work with. I've been very proud of the way that you've conducted your business, and I would be pleased to write a letter of recommendation for any of you at any time, should you ever need a letter of recommendation from the advisor of UHHSA. Thank you.
All right, there comes the apples. At this time, I'd like to adjourn sign die at 6:59.